It is Wednesday, April 3rd, and you know what? I am feeling controversial today. I would like to discuss a topic with you guys that more than likely I'm going to get some hate mail. And that's okay, because we all don't see eye to eye, and that is quite all right. But my topic for today is, should I take my snake to the vet? Okay, let's set up a scenario for you guys. I'm gonna talk about this as I'm cleaning because I've got several tanks to clean, so just bear with me. You guys have snakes, and not just you guys, everybody, okay? Everybody that has snakes. Hey, you just pipe down there, big boy. You get a problem with your snake, it doesn't, it looks like something's going on, and the first thing that happens is you guys get on, or I'm not being specific to my subscribers, but this is what typically happens. You guys get on Facebook and you post on these pages, Positive Pythons, Retic Nation, whatever. I've got this snake and it's doing this and it's got this, and what should I do? Well, you have opened the gates of hell, people. What do I mean by that? You have opened the doors for all of the keyboard experts to completely flog your ass with, oh my God, take that snake to the vet. Why are you not taking that snake to the vet yet? You ought to be ashamed. You shouldn't have snakes if you're going to do that. Oh, totally pisses me off, guys. Instead of it being, helpful or, somewhat, okay, well, and of course everybody's going to know what needs to happen or what you need to do. Bullshit. Let me give you an example. All right. 2 weeks ago, this snake, as a matter of fact, that I just pulled out of here, I come down and his right eye looks like a big crystal ball. You literally look into this and it looks like you're looking directly into his skull. All right? So I'm freaking out. With that said, let me tell you why I'm freaking out. Not long ago, I know of another snake owner that had the same issue with their snake. Had the eyeball swelled up, looked just like a crystal ball. Gets on Facebook, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? What's going to happen? Am I going to lose my snake? Whatever. And everybody jumps him. Take that snake to the vet. You need to take it to a vet. And just hounds the shit out and dog cusses him. All right. So naturally, now the guy feels awful because he feels like a shitty snake owner and rushes this snake to the vet. All right. So the vet looks at it, says, oh, yep, he's going to lose that eye. Does x-rays, and he sees a fang embedded in the upper jaw. Tells the man he has to do surgery. So he does surgery, removes the eye, removes the fang, and guess what? Not too long after that, I think a week or so, the snake's dead. Massive infection. Ain't no telling what all that snake died from. But, guys, if you have a problem with your snake, Don't rush to Facebook and say, this is going on in my snake, what do I do? You are opening the doors. The doors that piss me off. Is the vet the best thing to do? In some cases, yes. Let's talk about that. First thing you do is you call a vet and you say, hey, I've got a snake that's doing this, got this, whatever. And if the vet will even see the snake, he will tell you to bring it in, or you just take it. Guys, sometimes that vet is going to do more harm than good. And the story that I just told you is a perfect example. What I would like to recommend to each and every one of you guys is, instead of getting on Facebook and being in a broad room such as Positive Pythons, the Retic Republic, Reticulated Pythons Worldwide, whatever, any of those that have a very vast member number, keep in mind you're going to have, I don't mean this in a bad way, but there's going to be women or young girls or whatever that plays on that sympathy role. Let's face it, most of us that keep snakes have a huge heart for animals. So that's going to play in on the answer that you get to your question. So what I recommend, find you a good breeder. There's so many out there. There's Nathan with Nate Snakes. There's Russell DeBritz with Chasing Reptiles. There's Jay Brewer with Prehistoric Pets. There's Grant Gray with T-Town Reptiles. Who am I forgetting? There's several, okay? Bob Clark, which I don't think he's going to take the time to actually assist you. But there are guys that, and I'll be honest with you, Russell DeBritz from, I believe he's with Chasing Reptiles. I may be wrong on that. But Russell DeBritz, he's my go-to guy. If I have something that I'm not sure about, I'm going to contact him and say, hey, have you ever heard of this? What can I do? So instead of going to all of the keyboard experts on Facebook that are going to dog the shit out of you and they don't know what they're talking about, go to a breeder. Hell, give me write me and ask me. If I don't know it, I'll try to find the answer to you. If it's something that's severe enough, it might require veterinary assistance. But here's the key. Call the vet. Ask them specifically 3 questions. Do you see snakes? Okay, yes or no. If they say yes, let's move over to this. All right. Are you familiar with larger constrictors? No, not really. Okay, from that point, go try to find somebody else. And you call and say, well, I've got a retic python. Do you see reticulated pythons? How much experience do you have with retics? The snake that went to a vet, that vet didn't know shit. And he saw this eye swelling, and I'm serious, it looks like if it were a bubble, it was about to pop. This guy right here in this box. So he just, boom, we got to take the eye out. We got to take, he does an x-ray, he finds a fang, whatever, and he winds up killing the snake. Vets are not always the answer. Check with your breeders. Find you a good source, and hey, let them know up front. Russell DeBritz, he'll tell you. When I contacted him and I got the platinum genetic stripe from him, and I told him right up front, I said, Russell, you are officially my brain trust, my go-to guy if I have a question. He personally wrote back and said, hey, no problem, be glad to help. Boom, problem solved. Getting back to the eye thing, this one here, come down one morning, bleh, eyes swollen up like a crystal ball, looks like I can look right into his skull. Now, knowing what happened with that veterinarian, I was like, well, shit. I guess he's just going to lose an eye. That sucks. You know, he's a beautiful animal. And 2 weeks went by. I come down after 2 weeks. You know, I check on him daily. Don't take that out of context. 2 weeks later, I come down. I walk around the corner. I look, and the little bastard's fine. The eye is completely gone back down. It looks like nothing ever happened. Now, am I saying that if there's something wrong with your snake, just let it go? No, I'm not saying that. With the experience that I have, I've been raising snakes since 1994. If you count that up, that's 25 years. In that 25 years, I had one snake die on me. And the reason was impaction. I knew that it was impaction. I knew that there wasn't a whole lot that could be done. Lo and behold, that one went to the vet. I thought, I've got to give it every chance that I can. Took it to the vet. I had done everything that vet recommended that I do. The mineral oil up the butt, down the throat, and soaking it in 88-degree water for 15-20 minutes. Everything was done already. And it wasn't long after that the snake had passed. So it sucks. It really does suck when you have a snake die, or any pet for that matter. But when you put so much work into this and have one die, I mean, it hurt. But with that said, I've only lost one snake in 25 years. I don't like vets, especially ones that, I'm from a town that there isn't a whole lot of snake people in this town. So once his eye went back down, I contacted a friend of mine. I said, hey, have you ever had that happen where the eyeball blows up and looks like a crystal ball? And he said, yes, he's had it happen. He took it to the vet, and they put him on antibiotics and steroids, and then 2 weeks later he was fine. Okay, so in my head, my wheels are turning. All right, he went to the vet, got antibiotics, got steroids. 2 weeks later, he's fine. I got to researching, and this guy told me what it is. The tear duct, or the whatever kind of duct, is in its mouth. So when it pushes really hard, it either swells up that duct to where it's not draining, or it causes some kind of inflammation and it just blocks it, and the liquid is collected in the eyeball. Freaky. I mean, it's totally freaky. But, you know, he said after 2 weeks his was fine on antibiotics and steroids. What I did with mine, now if you remember, he was in that enclosure down on the bottom. I took him out of the enclosure when I saw his eyes was swollen up. I put him in a clean enclosure. I eliminated any kind of moisture. I didn't have any water in there with him for 5 days. When I did give him water, I let him drink. When he was done drinking, I pulled it back out, and we kept him back in there. 2 weeks later, I come down, and it's like nothing ever happened. So I'm a little pissed off at him because for 2 weeks I was freaking out thinking he was going to lose an eye. But at the same time, it's bittersweet because it went down overnight and everything was fine. And two, I didn't rush it to the vet, the same one that may have killed the snake. Vets are not always the answer, guys. Don't get on Facebook and say, hey, what's wrong with my snake? Everybody's going to chime in, and you're going to have all of the sympathy haters that say you need to get that to the vet. It's not always the best thing to do. If it is severe enough or serious enough where you do feel that a vet should be involved, and if you consult one of these breeders that I'm talking to you about, and they say, you know what, you probably should find a vet. That sounds pretty serious. Good example is respiratory infection. There are some home remedies. I have tried some home remedies with success, and I have tried home remedies without success. So, 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. But don't get on Facebook and open the doors of hell to all the keyboard experts, armchair experts, whatever you want to call them. Check with a breeder. If they don't have an answer, call another breeder. Somewhere along the line, somebody's going to know, hey, this is what you have to do, or You know, if somebody called me tomorrow or texted me and said, hey, my snake's eyeball swelled up like a crystal ball, I'm going to say, okay, from experience, he's got a blocked tear duct, a blocked duct in his mouth. Give it 2 weeks and it'll go down. Is that always the case? I don't know, but that is what happened with me. So based on my experience, I may be able to help him. There's where the controversy comes in, because I'm going to get some of you guys that are going to say, you know what, that's messed up. Why would you not take your animal to the vet? That is neglect. Well, I gave you an example of maybe it's not neglect. Maybe you're saving that animal's life. So, you can take it for what it's worth. I just like to give a positive outlook on it, to where, hey, maybe it'll help. Maybe somebody else has had the incident where their snake's eyeball swelled up like a crystal ball. So if I can help one person, I'm good. If I can piss off 40, yeah, even better. So, hope you all enjoyed that. If you decide that you want to send me some hate mail, we do live in the United States, so you are more than welcome to do so. But just know that I am not going to respond to any kind of hateful remarks. Not going to respond to any criticism that's negative. I'll take positive criticism all day long. If you start questioning my outlook on it, nah, I don't care. It worked for me. So, that is pretty much all for this video. Are you ready to come out? Now, I'm going to show you. Come here, big boy. If you can see, yeah, I'm struggling. What about it? Let go. Let me see if I can get you to look at him. Come here, Perseus. You can see his eyes are perfect now. And that's the eye right there on your side. That was swelled up, and I would have sworn he was going to lose it. Lo and behold, he did good, and everything worked out. So, that is my controversial video for today. Again, if you have a problem with my logic, that's fine. Do what works for you. My biggest thing that I wanted to get through with this video is, please, whatever you do, if your snake has got an issue, don't post it on Positive Pythons or Facebook or any of the retic pages. When I say the gates of hell, I mean it. People are ruthless. And it's all based on the sympathy or the tugging of the heart for that animal. I get that. I do. But to save you a lot of trouble and a lot of times going, well, that's bullshit. Reading all the ridiculous things. I'm not saying they're all ridiculous. Somebody's going to post on there that they might have had experience with it, but you're going to have to put up with the rest of that bullshit too. Just go ahead and skip that. Private message a breeder. Private message me. We'll get to the bottom of it. If we think it's severe enough, find a vet. 3 questions. Do you work on reptiles? Yes. Do you work on snakes specifically? You're going to find a lot of vets that will work on iguanas. They'll work on geckos. They don't have a whole lot of experience with snakes. Do you work on reptiles? Yes. Do you work on snakes? Yes. Okay. How much experience do you have with the reticulated python? Guys, if a vet gets pissed off because you asked that, you don't need to go to them anyway. Why would you give your money to somebody that's going to get pissed off because you're concerned for the well-being of your animal? Ask those 3 questions. When you find a straight yes on all 3, if you feel you need to take it, go ahead and take it. It's not a money thing. That vet that destroyed that animal that I was referring to earlier will never see me place foot in his office again. He didn't know what he was talking about. He didn't know what he was doing, and yet he thought, well, I can just go ahead and wing it and take a look and see what happens. Wound up killing the snake for no reason whatsoever. That's my video for today. I hope I didn't piss you guys off too bad. Deep down inside, maybe I hope I pissed off 2 or 3, just for shits and giggles. But hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. And we'll see you soon on a new video. Peace out.